Good afternoon, everyone. It is actually my birthday. Uh, Let me tell you something. I don't feel my age. I don't feel like I should feel anything. But let me give you a huge update, okay? Over the weekend and over the week and last weekend. First, last weekend. Well, the weekend before. The one that passed. My grandfather was in the hospital. Okay? He was very sick. He couldn't breathe. I was crazy worried about him. I was freaking out because I wasn't hearing anything about what was going on. How he was doing. Is he still alive? Has he seen a doctor? Are they saying anything? Is it, is there more water in his legs or in his lungs or something? I mean, but apparently it was a problem with his heart. There's certain pills that he wasn't supposed to be taking. That and the fact that he should be wearing his breathing machine more often. I spent every day in that hospital, hoping that they're going to be okay. Hoping that he's going to be okay. I mean, one day I fell asleep and I couldn't visit my grandmother in the hospital because I was too tired. I'd come home one night and I fell right to sleep. I was that tired. My grandmother, today is going to be her last day in the hospital, her last night in the hospital. And her problem was a little bit more difficult. Dad said that she was confused. She wasn't talking. Well, she was talking, I mean, she was trying to talk, but she wasn't making any sense. Or she was barely able to talk. Brought her to the hospital, to the clinic first, and then to the hospital, because my hometown has only a clinic right now. And it's not big enough to have be an actual hospital yet. They still have more to do, more work to be done. I'm not worried about either of them, but I'm happy to say that I'd also gotten really nice birthday messages this morning from both of them, including my uncle, who is constantly with them, worrying about them, taking them places, and has just recently headed down the road right now to the city where he works. He works for the Justice Department. He's not a lawyer, but he's pretty close to working close to the judge, like one of the judges, counsel, and deciding on cases and the important issues. I'm making this video to say that I am glad everything's working well. I've gotten a lot of birthday messages. I thought I would get more, but apparently I haven't. That's okay. Because I'm I try my best to remain as positive on Facebook. Because it's Facebook. Most of the people I have on Facebook are busy with their own lives. They only care about themselves. They don't, I mean, you have friends on Facebook, but they're not friends. Like, you can't message them and say, I'm in town, do you want to grab a pizza? Do you want to have coffee or anything like that? Because they'll skip it and forget it, and then a week later, you'll already be gone or pass through, and they'll say, oh, sorry, I was so busy, I had all this going on and that, and they completely make you feel like you are worthless. And I hate that about Facebook. I do enjoy the fact that Facebook is more of a, like, publicizing network. You see everything that's going on. Advertisements for, boutiques, movies, um, video games that are coming out, new, like a restaurant or recipes. People are getting excited about going to a concert or can't wait to see this movie. Oh, we went to this sci-fi convention, and I get to see all the pictures and be like, crap. God, my life is so boring compared to them. But then again, Facebook makes everyone look glamorous. Now, so far I've gotten a few messages from people who I haven't even met. And they send me messages. Why can't I get them from the friend that we both know? But then again, he's busy with his own life right now. He's probably, because he just got married, so he's on his honeymoon right now. That makes sense. And then another one just got married as well and is on his honeymoon. Everyone seems to be getting married now. Like, although I have one childhood friend who has been married for, I don't know, like a year, 2 years. The thing is, I never went to their wedding. Mostly because, I got an invite, but I didn't feel like I was invited to the wedding. I didn't go because I made another promise to someone else to go to their wedding. She actually came up to me and asked me to go to their wedding. You're coming, right? So I was like, yeah, I guess I'm obliged to go now. And I went, and she looked beautiful. It was beautiful. Friends, not what you expect from people like that, but I was so nervous I didn't know what the hell to do, so I just walked away and went to people I actually remember, that I actually know I feel comfortable with. Just my typical kind of thing. Being 27, I started to think about what I've done in each birthday I've had. Whether if it's, like allowing myself to have a happy moment alone. I don't know why. I can't explain how I decided to do this or when I started to do this, but I've always had like a moment to myself. Okay, for example, it hadn't even snowed. This one place where I was going to school when I was 16. No, wait, I was 17. And I wasn't even expecting like as much. I got happy birthdays on a huge nice piece of paper, and everyone was writing on it and saying happy birthday, have a great day, you're amazing, you're wonderful, happy birthday, beautiful, from Kristen and these girls and Deborah and these guys and few nice guys and just everyone who was older or around my age and knew the real me. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. But everyone was doing their own thing. So I spent that day, and I think it was on a Thursday, because I remember I had school the next day. And I remember I was already tired, but I decided to take one final walk outside. There's this pathway, this driveway, that if you keep walking, it leads into the forest, and then it's just this long path that you walk along. But I think it was also like four-wheelers driving through there, or people just driving through there to get to, a faster way, avoiding street signs and stoplights and, just, you know, avoiding the scowls and the people who obviously should have drank more coffee or should get more sleep. Um, anyway, I walked down there. It was so cold, but I still enjoyed it. I had my leather jacket, so I was fine. I had gloves. I remember looking at one part of the pathway. Someone had tried or started building a tree house. There was a platform there. I remember thinking I would love to sit up on that platform. I couldn't get up there. It was too high. Which means these kids must have had some sort of a long ladder, do this acrobatic backflip onto there or something. They must have done something, you know, to get up there. And you know what? That's okay. I had another idea that ended up turning into something a little bit more different. I had this idea. What if I had a character who had their own treehouse, and it was sort of enchanted? Every time you went in, there was something new, something different about it, you know. And it was just him by himself, and it was just, you know, like, he didn't have any friends, but he gained friends with people who were either part of the past or part of a storyline. Like it was, like the treehouse would end up on, like, Skull Island, or it would end up in London, or it would end up in, like, Venice, or, you know, like, back in the Wild West, you know, like, it would just end up in different places. I thought of that, and I didn't push forward with it, because it just, I felt like I wasn't really doing as well as I should be doing. I was still young, I was still making stuff up, and I put my friends in my stories. But there's certain stories I have them in that I'm never going to tell them about. Because one, I've already changed the names. So when they get published, my friends are going to be like, oh my gosh, this character is me. Or this character was me back then. Oh my gosh, nostalgia. It's going to be like that. I have a feeling it's going to be like that. I put my friends in my stories and changed their names and made them so different. Like, one of my favorite friends, she actually is blonde, and she's beautiful, but she doesn't like to be seen as the stereotypical blonde. She's not stupid. She loves to read, and she's into a lot of the same stuff I'm in. She has the same sense of humor I do. The difference is, when my birthday came up, she had this huge, like, she made a nice big deal about it. We were really good friends back then. Still kind of are, but not really. It's hard to explain her and how we are. Anyway, the character, I ended up, instead of having her as, you know, like, typical popular girl, I mean, yeah, she's popular, but, you know, yeah, she's gorgeous, but she's also got a very different personality. You know, pushed around by her mom. Her mom is abusive toward her. So, I mean, at first it was, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes mother, I love you mother, thank you mother, sort of thing, to, I give up, you're no longer my mother, I'm out of here. So it's just, you know, one of those things where a girl just decides, I'm through with you, I'm done, nothing's ever good enough for you, I'm going. And she left, and she basically just, you know, took a taxi out into the city and then hitchhiked through and trying to find some place to go to until she comes across this man, and she's trying to find some place to go, and he sees that she's, you know, kind of begging on the streets, kind of, you know, looking like she was caught shoplifting. She has a probation officer. And this is all at 19. And I just created a character based off of a friend of mine, but with some of the same mannerisms, and turned it into someone completely different. This is not how I picture that friend. This is not how I picture how I see her in, the future or anything like that. This is now how I figure she would turn out to be. It was mostly based around the fact that I was trying to get this character to adapt to a different sort of life. I mean, I don't think my friend has ever been beaten by her family, because it never showed. I mean, yeah, she wore makeup like everyone else. And back then I was more into the eyeliner type, dark eyes, looking like I had a black eye or something, or just, closer toward just being dark. I was always, just kind of thing. Every now and then they get me to smile, but that's pretty much it. Actually, not even every now and then. There are times when I'd wear this and I'd actually be smiling. It proves that you can't judge a book by its cover. Anyway, this time I'm just putting this on. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this. It's not too long right now if I stopped it. For my birthday, I always figured that I should be doing what I want to do. I think what I should really think about. I mean, I've got, like everyone else, I have a bucket list. I've got like different goals that I've set for myself, things to do before I'm 30. Which actually is slowly turning into things I'd like to do before I get married, or things I'd like to do, I'd like to be done, before I die, sort of thing. Stuff like, make plays, plural, publish books, stories, have my own motorcycle. I'm a huge fan of like the 80s and 90s, just the idea of traveling through from one place to another. Last night I spent some time with my grandmother. Okay, in the hospital, and she was actually, just before I left, she wished me happy birthday. But before all of that, she had just finished eating, she had taken her pills, and she was falling asleep on me, and not a big deal. I'm okay with it, because she does wake up. She does, spend a little bit more time with me, and I let her sleep, because she's in the hospital, so it's the best place for her to rest, even though she sleeps at home. Anyway, we were watching a good show, one of my favorite shows, which is Star Trek: The Next Generation. Very old school, a lot of fun. I still enjoy it. And the one that we were watching is called A Handful of Datas. And I was enjoying rewatching it over again. I think this would have been like my 5th time seeing it, because it is good. It's really good. And one of my favorite things about it is that they just basically put men who look big and, kind of scruffy and very, kind of worn out, I'm hoping I'm getting this right. They put Spanish men, or Mexican Americans, Hispanics, black men, and there was only one white man, and that was the lead. I love that. It's like all these guys are just, sitting at the bar and just, chilling out, drinking, just, and enjoying conversations. You can see that they're having a conversation, despite, the, mouth, like, That's not there. You actually see them having a conversation. Trust me, there's a difference. And I like the fact that they show to the world that no matter what color you are, we're all human, no matter what. I mean, sometimes they do have, like, some comments about race, but that's only because of alien races. Klingons, Ferengi, I was gonna say the Kardashians, but no, that's not who they are. The Cardassians? Can't pronounce her name. I haven't heard it in a long time, that's why. Like, Vulcan, Bajoran, anyway, I'll remember later on what they're called. And it's just in references to those races because they are very different. You know, you got... It's not about stereotypes either. It's kind of based off of, like, culture more. Like how they're raised. But seriously, one of the funniest... Oh my gosh. And then there's Changeling, Odo. Sometimes he is hysterical. And Worf in Handful of Data has just cracked me up. Oh my gosh. And the fact that they had, you know, Data versions in every one, you know, and it was like, wow. It's like, I reckon should be finished by supper. I was like, my memory bank doesn't seem to recall that. You know, it's like, and in his technical Data way, he was like, it was like, my memory bank shows that I did not say those exact words. Y'all must be mistaken. He did it again. Did what? And he had that drawl and the way they talk, and it's like, wow, it's so cool. Seeing that from Data, oh, man, the old style. And some of the movies there, you can tell that that is actually an exaggeration of what, you know, they portray the Wild West. But maybe because they didn't want to try so much, it's more to the fact that they want to exaggerate it a lot more. And my grandmother thought it was pretty cool, pretty funny. It was nice getting her into some of my shows, because some of the other ones are darker. I mean, I am not letting her watch Supernatural. And I do not think that she would ever get into, like, Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, maybe The Flash. Maybe The Arrow. The Arrow is a little bit more dramatic. So maybe The Arrow. Because it's an interesting show. Anyway, these are just shows I watch. I watch more than that, just so you know. I'm gonna say this right here and now. Every year for my birthday, I'd always wished for either a dog, you know, or just, you know, opportunities. Just little things here and there. To me, asking for a dog is little, because I mean, some places they don't cost that much, or, you know, yeah, it takes a lot of work, but it's also worth it. Same thing for a cat and a bird. It takes a lot of work to take care of them. A lot of cleaning every week. sometimes even every day. Certain animals, anyway. Last year, we had gotten this big cake from the store, and I let my brother blow out most of the candles. I was okay with it. This year, the reason why, it's not that we're twins or anything. It's if we were born closer together, we could end up being pretty close to twins. He's 2 years older than me. His birthday is also 4 days away from mine. He's like, here and there he's different than I am, but we share the same sense of humor like most siblings. I mean, most siblings would laugh at the same jokes, watch the same movies, get into the same festivals, you know. They would, you know, watch the same pranks and videos and laugh, or, you know, they hate the same people sometimes, or depending, you know. I mean, my brother and I agree that a certain celebrity, I'm not going to say his name, he's young, he's still acting like a douchebag. And every time I see, you know, on Reactor, the Fine Bros reactions of this guy, and he pops up, the guys, their faces are hysterical. And then you've got the one guy, I forgot his name. He's like closing his ears like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. He's like, no, don't turn it up. So funny. And yeah, I'm subscribed to Fine Bros Entertainment. They are good. And Reactors. They've got really good channels that are a lot of fun. They're very interesting, too, so, oh yeah. I agree with them on several different things. Except when the girls were showing that, oh, he's so cute, he's so sweet, oh my gosh, we're such fans, you know, sort of thing. And I'm like, after everything you've seen this guy do, I mean, look at his songs. Really? I would enjoy him if he had more songs that are more about, like, family oriented, or, you know, like if he had songs about skateboarding, you know, like how many times he has gotten hurt. I would listen, because I believe that he skateboards. You know, or about being homeschooled, if he was a little bit, you know, kind of like Weird Al Yankovic. I would be totally into it, okay? Or if he had songs that were easier to believe, because, I mean, how many times has this guy fallen in love? I've got friends who are fans of him. It's one of the reasons why I don't hang out with them that much, because I'm not a fan. I can't stand the guy. Although there's probably some guys that I listen to that they can't stand. Maybe they're not Weird Al Yankovic fans. Maybe they think, let's see. Maybe they think Quentin Tarantino sucks. Maybe they think, let's see, I'm trying to think of all my favorite. Like, maybe they think The Flash is annoying, or maybe they find all the Avengers and superhero movies and that all annoying or overdone or overused or something like that, you know, or cliche. I wouldn't care. When you have friends, and, you know, they're gonna have different opinions than you, and of course, I'm not a fan of Justin Bieber. Okay, I just said it right there. Oh my god, I just revealed that I hate. Well, okay, maybe hate's too strong of a word for ears out there, whoever's listening to this. Well, then again, who watches these? I mean, besides me. I can't stand Justin Bieber. Okay, I'm sorry. The guy's a douchebag. The guy is a moron. I mean, come on. You're gonna get high and you're gonna get drunk and do all this crap, you know, like peeing in a bucket. He's an idiot. You're gonna be into that and his music and it's all about love and that? It's like, how many times has this guy fallen in love? Really? I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan. Ever since he started, I've never been a fan. I would rather watch One Direction on stage. I'd rather listen to Big Time Rush. Actually, some Big Time Rush songs are actually pretty good. I remember when they started coming out. I became a big fan. I started playing this game, and I started watching the show, and then I started adding their songs into the game, into something that I was playing and adding with it. And it's a very, I'd like to get back into it, because it's a wonderful game. I always found it fun. It's like smallworlds.com, and you have your own avatar and everything, and you can do anything you want. The thing is, I used to be a VIP when I could get the cards and I could afford it, but I can't find the cards. I can kind of afford it, but I can't get the cards to be a VIP anymore. I used to be a Baroness, and that was pretty cool for a title. I didn't overuse it or anything like that. I just went to places, checked it out, hang out, you know, have a virtual, you know, diet root beer float, or, you know, pretend that I was getting drunk or something. Sometimes I sit in a place and I just talk to myself. Click, 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 you know, type, 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 to have a whole story going on. Type, type, type. It's like, did I ever tell you? It's like, have you seen this guy? He is so good looking. He's so hot that you can fry an egg on his abs. I was one of those ridiculous kind of girls, and that was back when I was single. So yeah, I'm kind of a nerd. I'm also happy that I've come up with a few good stories with that game. Sorry, the other computer went out. I'm still at work. It's a good job when you're finished everything else, and else what you have to do is just wait for more stuff to do. Right now I have no idea what I'm supposed to be ready for, or what I'm supposed to be putting together. So I just have to wait. I mean, I have a feeling I know what's going on, but I also don't. So, yeah. Also notice my glasses are a little bit crooked. Anyway, I have been working. I have been stressing myself out over my grandparents and work, and worried about today. I also have another thing to worry about. The 29th. It's supposed to be a birthday dinner for me, but the thing is, it's also my brother's birthday. So I don't know if we're going to celebrate it, but Carl would rather celebrate it for me. He's cooking. He's putting everything together. And he says that if he has to, he's going to drive all the way down to pick them all up and bring them back here, if he has to. But I have a feeling that my grandfather will say otherwise, because he's that way. Very stubborn man. He'd rather do things himself, even though one time it caused him to have a heart attack, and it scared the living daylights out of my grandmother. She was like scared for him, even though it was just his first one. So yeah, my grandparents have been had raised me since I can remember. So some of my stories have different connections to my life. I'm not going to say what's connected to what just yet, but I will say that my friends are in my stories, but I've hidden the, like, I've hidden the very, how do I say this? I've hidden the obvious stuff. You know, blonde hair, tall, or, brown hair, tall, whether, including the nationality is different. Trust me on this. Oh, and a lot of these characters, I don't write them out as they have colors. I write them out as characters. Although I have one character that is a color, because I absolutely love the behavior, the the reaction, the expression. It's just perfect. It fits. It would fit with this character. It's a little boy, black, and he, opened up a book from the other library. He ends up going in to the book, and everything is like, oh no. He's a little bit worried, like he's someplace he knows he shouldn't be at. Like, this is not real. It's not the real world. We are not in 2012. He'd be kind of freaking out. And then, well, he's wearing a t-shirt, looks down at the ground, looks at his arm, screams, tries to get it off. My mama's gonna kill me. To me, it would match him perfectly. It also would have that mannerism of, if I did, I said I did. But since I didn't, I didn't. I'm telling you, I didn't. And they're calling him a thief just because he's, a boy. It's not his color. Trust me on this. Because this is a town where all boys who don't have parents steal. Okay? Just to point that out. A lot of my stories are based off of living lifestyles. They're based off of action, adventure, eras, like, I've always wondered what it would be like to write about the Great Depression. The thing is, my grandfather won't talk about it. All what he does say is that he didn't graduate from high school. He stopped right then and there, went to work, so that he could help his parents, pay bills, pay for food, and he got a job right then and there. He has tons of wonderful stories. Oh my gosh, I love hearing his stories. He's so funny. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons why I'm a writer. I remember one time we were driving. Phone.